All right, so for this video, I'm going to talk about talk about mantras in relation to lucid dreaming because this is something that I've gotten lucid the past couple of nights because of mantras, right? And this is an interesting thing where, language seems to have a really close association in the mind with memory, with prospective memory, which is future memory. Which, if you don't know, what prospective memory is, it's remembering to do things in the future, which is important for getting lucid inside of your dreams, right? So I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about sigils, right? Because sigils like this, right? I've been getting into sigils the past 3-4 weeks, and basically, like what you do for a sigil is that you get like a phrase or something that something that means something, right? And then you compress it into like a visual glyph, right? But that's what got me into using mantras, because mantras are essentially verbal sigils. They're verbal, sort of linguistic, auditory, sigils. They're things that carry meaning to the mind, right? And one of the best examples of the power of a mantra, when it comes to having power over the mind or telling the mind what to do, is if I say pink elephant, like right now, right? Like it's almost like a spell, right? Because yet, I mean, we spell words, we spell sentences, right? So maybe that is how spells are cast, right? Language and words seem to be a fundamental component of the use of magic and the use of and programming the mind for certain things, right? And yet again, using the pink elephant analogy, like if I say pink elephant, right, there's circuitry in your brain. There's subconscious circuitry in your brain that automatically links the words pink elephant with the meaning, with the schema, the concept, the general idea of a pink elephant. And so a pink elephant pops into your mind. If I say meatball sub, a meatball sub, right? Yet again, like that, the image might pop into your head just automatically. It's not even something that you're trying to do. You're not forcefully forcing yourself to think about a skateboard, right? If I say skateboard, right, you're probably having some imagery or some general concept of a skateboard inside of your head. Oh, sorry. You'll probably have like some schema or some concept or some image of a skateboard inside of your head because of the fact that I said skateboard, right? And yet again, I'm repeatedly saying that because that's the power of a mantra when it comes to lucid dreaming, becoming aware inside of your dreams, right? And to use an example, last night I actually got lucid because I used the mantra nose pinch, right? Because that is a reality test that you can do in a lucid dream where you pinch your nose and you try to breathe through it. If you pinch your nose and you can still breathe through it, then that is an indicator that you're in the dream. And I actually did this last night, and I kept saying nose pinch, nose pinch, nose pinch inside of my head with my inner monologue, and that programmed my mind through repetition. Also, like repetition seems to be a fundamental component to programming the mind. It's almost like hypnosis, right? If you look at how hypnosis works, how programming the subconscious mind works, right? It's one of those things where using repetition combined with the power of language can repeatedly program your mind. It can prime your brain to dream about certain things and to also do certain things in the dream. Because whenever I said nose pinch, right, I was the meaning associated with the phrase nose pinch was a nose pinch reality test, right? It was my intent to do that in the future, right? And actually, it was like a dream character that ended up telling me to do a nose pinch test. So I was able to influence the content of my dreams because of a mantra, because of the power of language, because of the power of words, right? But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I feel like the mantra technique isn't fully appreciated when it comes to lucid dreaming, because you see this all over the internet. You see like if you repeat the phrase "I will become lucid tonight," "I will become lucid tonight," which the reason why that doesn't work for a lot of people is because of the fact that you're not being specific enough. If you say I'm gonna get lucid, I'm gonna get lucid, get lucid, get lucid, a lot of people, like, your brain doesn't know what it means to get lucid. It does know what it means to read text. For example, my alarm clock. If I can I even bring it close? Okay, yeah. So my alarm clock, for example, right? If I read the alarm clock and then I look away and I look back, a lot of times, um A lot of times, like whenever I read the time or whenever I read a piece of text in a lucid dream or in a dream, a lot of the times it'll morph or change into something else whenever I look back to it, right? So if so you see how that's much more specific, much more attainable, much more approachable to the mind if you say read text as like your mantra, right? If you say that instead of get lucid, right? Because lucidity is such an arbitrary concept. It's like be aware, be aware. Like what does awareness mean? So I think that that's why the mantra technique and the use of mantras isn't fully appreciated in the lucid dream sort of space is because people don't use language properly, right? And a lot of time, and I've seen this in comments under YouTube videos talking about the mantra technique where they'll repeat the mantra, I will get lucid, I will get lucid, right? And what they do is they end up having dreams about lucid dreams. Like they'll have dreams about getting lucid instead, they won't be lucid, but they'll have dreams about the concept of lucid dreams, right? So yet again, you have to be sort of not careful, but yeah, I mean careful, right? But it's not like you're gonna like blow up your head or anything if you use the wrong mantra. It's just you have to be specific about the words that you use and about the things that you use to make up your mantra. And I think that also another criteria for a good mantra is to make the mantra short. You don't want a run-on sentence. You don't want something that is hard to repeat. Right? You want something like nose pinch. You want something like read text or read book. Check time, check the time, check the time. Right? Something that's really easy to repeat in your head. And yet again, like there's a subconscious circuitry in your brain that automatically links words, language with meaning in the brain. And that's the part of the brain that you're trying to tap into when it comes to trying to you know get yourself to perform a certain task in the dream, which is that's how you get lucid, right? That's yet again the specificity, the specific thing that you're trying to do. What does it mean to get lucid? Not as an arbitrary concept, but as a specific set of actions. Is pinching your nose, trying to breathe through it. It's reading text. It's checking time, right? So doing that will help you to get lucid, right? And there's also like a fundamental components of language being associated with memory, right? And like the way the filing cabinet of memory inside of your brain is intimately linked with language, right? The use of language, the use of words is intimately linked with memory, and this is where we get into prospective memory. Yet again, remembering to do stuff in the future, remembering to do to do a certain task, remembering to do a reality check. When you're in the dream in the future, right? Remembering to do something in the near future, right? Going to the grocery store to get milk, for example, right? So the use of language is intimately connected with memory in the brain. So you can see how powerful the use of language, the use of a mantra, can be whenever it comes to programming your prospective memory, your future memory, remembering to do something in the near future, right? Reminding your future self to get lucid or to do a certain task, right? But I just wanted to make a short video about that because I think that that's the way that mantras should be used. Is that mantras and short little words, they're almost like miniature spells. Yet again, I think that the use of a mantra is very much like an auditory or a verbal sigil, right? If I say pink elephant, pink elephant, pink elephant, right? It keeps popping into your head because language is intimately connected with our perception of reality, right? So if you use mantras properly in order to program your mind to perform a specific dream task, not saying I'm going to get lucid tonight, I'm going to get lucid tonight, because if you say that, it's too vague. Your brain has no idea what it means usually, and if you do succeed, you might have a dream about lucid dreaming instead of actually being lucid in the dream, right? So yeah, like if you use mantras properly, if you use mantras in order to carry out specific tasks in the dream, or in order to program a certain schema or idea or concept into the brain, like if you want to have dreams about pink elephants, you could say pink elephant repeatedly, and you might notice that you might influence the content of your dreams through the use of language, through the use of mantras, or you could say through the use of spells, which is what mantras really are. If you say, like, if you go to a crowded area and you say pink elephant, it is like casting a spell, because automatically people are going to think about pink elephants in their brain like that. Right? So you see how powerful language and words are when it comes to programming the mind, through repetition. It's also a repetition thing too, right? Repeatedly programming the mind through the use of language, through the use of words, can really have an impact when it comes to your lucid dream practice. But yeah, that's the video.